Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the top 5 fastest mounts in Palworld's 1.0 update. This is actually a nuanced topic because there are stats that are actually kind of hidden in this game that can determine how fast your pals are going to be. So we're going to break this down into land speed, water speed, as well as flying speed, and flying obviously being the one that most people care about. There are 3 big contenders here. And this list is actually going to have a lot more than the top 5 because there's some great early game ones like the Ragnarok, Beacon, and Phalaris. So use these in the early to mid game, but we're going to first look at the fastest on land. Now, Palumba here is actually pretty crazy. Besides being a groovy fella, he also gets a 240% increase when mounted on grass. Now, this doesn't encompass everything. There's sand and many other textures, but in all honesty, we got to go between Necromus and Palladius here. Now, there's a bit of a difference here. Now, Necromus is going to be a lot faster, but only has a double jump, whereas Palladius here has a triple jump when you're mounted. So I'll first start off by showing Palumba here, who has crazy fast speeds here. You can fly with this pal. However, the only downside is it does have to warm up first, so its acceleration is kind of low in comparison to the others that are just faster right off the rip. But you can see here, once you get this thing rolling, it is really fast. Next, I'll show you Palladius here, who is also very quick with that triple jump. So you can see here, very fast acceleration, doesn't require you to have to find like grass, for example, and bouncing around too. It has a lot of mobility text that you can do with that triple jump, which makes it one that I really like if you want to stick with like a ground-based pal. But Necromus is just the fastest. Even with a double jump, this thing just moves so much faster. It's like causing my PC to lag here. Yeah, this thing is an absolute beast. Moves very quickly, as you can see here. So if you're earlier on in the game, Palumba can be great, and then you can grab yourself Necromus here, because yeah, he is the fastest on land with a double jump, whereas you can swap over and use triple jump if you prefer the others. And to find both Palladius and Necromus, you're actually going to come to the most northern part of the map here, and you're going to see that there is a raid boss version. Fun enough, they are fighting against each other here. Now for water pals, we actually have a lot of really good options, and surprisingly, Chillet is an amazing choice. Now, Gangler is incredibly powerful because his movement speed is going to increase by 25% for every other dark or water pal in your party. This does not include Gangler here, but if you want to build around a water team, this would be a solid option. Jormuntide Ignis is also really great, or just regular Jormuntide, but the top 2 would be Neptilius here, who's insanely powerful, and Chillet, who actually has a really fun ability to change your attacks into dragons. If you're going against dark type enemies, great choice. So yeah, Gangler can be really fast in the water here. I like it because it's a shark, a dark and water type, reminiscent of some other dark sharks. Jormuntide obviously being very fast as well. And it may surprise you that Chillet is the second fastest in water. And Chillet is awesome too because it is not a water type, so you can vary your party around while still having someone that's great for like magna fishing and things like that. And Chillet's a real chill guy, so definitely worth using. Yeah, second fastest movement speed in water. But yeah, it's hard to beat Neptilius here. He's just so fast when it comes to water. And the best part about this is big jumps out of the water too, and he can kind of hover along there. So yeah, if you're looking to do a lot of water exploration, he'd be the one to do it with. And with fishing being so crazy powerful, it is worth grabbing yourself a Neptilius as well. Just yeah, it moves super quick and a lot of powerful attacks. And if you want to get your own Neptilius, you actually have to come to this Everjail here, which is at the heart of the Isle of the Glacial Core. So just right in the middle there, you'll be able to find yourself a Neptilius. Now moving on to the flyers, I know that's what people care about the most. And we actually have, an honorable mention, not the fastest, but the largest. This is Pathalus. This is a boss that has been added to 1.0 update. It doesn't consume stamina, so if you're doing any long treks, this would be your best bet. It's not going to be the fastest per se, but not running out of stamina over the long run. If you wanted to run from one end of the map to the other, this would likely be your best option because the others would run out of their stamina so often. Now, the Pathalus you can fight multiple times, so you can get different rolls on it. So yeah, it is a great pal, but a little bit too large for my taste here. But what's cool about it is whenever you jump on it, you can kind of use it as a platform here. So yeah, it's a funny one, not the fastest, but I do want to mention it as an honorable mention. And this is like something you do at the end game around like level 65 to 70. I will have a guide post on how to easily take it down, but Pathalus is just right there. Panthalus. Now for our fastest flyers, this is where the nuance comes together because it depends. Our fastest base speed is actually going to be Jet Dragon here, who is a 3,300 base speed. Hydrolon has a 2750 base speed, so this is lower. However, they have the special ability here for every PAL that is in the party that is either Dragon or Dark for Hydrolon and Dragon or Fire for Hydrolon Ignis. They get a 6% whenever it's fully maxed out for every other party member, which puts things a little bit higher than a Jet Dragon, because that would equal like 3,400. So yeah, they end up being faster, but that doesn't take everything into consideration. There's things like stamina, for example, which Xenolord just has like 3 times the stamina of everyone else. So that comes into play based on the distance. And the thing that really makes a difference for the fastest flyer is actually with like Hydrolon and Hydrolon Ignis here. So their base speed is where all the buffs like Legend, Dimensional Leap, Swift, and Runner would be going to. So that's the 2750 number versus the 3300 that Jet Dragon gets boosted. So I'll be showing you guys how this all breaks down. But if you have one without any passive skills, Hydrolon will be faster, provided you have a full party of Dragon, Dark, or Fire types. Now, whenever we look at things like Xenolord, he unfortunately cannot come with the Legend passive skill, so that's another bit of speed that Xenolord just doesn't get. However, this is very nuanced of a topic because stamina, movement speed, and the buffs all come into play. So all 3 of these end up being the fastest depending on what you're doing. So you're going to see here, using Hydrolon, he runs out of stamina really quickly. So we're moving along this little area here and we're already out of stamina. So that obviously comes into effect because once you're out of stamina, you can't fly anymore. And for example, Xenolord here, not as fast. You can notice it's noticeably slower, but still very quick and a lot faster than all the other mounts. But yeah, we're traveling the same distance here and we still have our stamina at around 50% here at the same time that we went through what Hydrolon just went through. So that's where this does become a very different topic because yeah, Xenolord just ends up having a lot more of just overall stamina to keep flying. And the big downside to Jet Dragon here, or Jet Dragon, he runs out of stamina a lot faster. So that is the other downside, is you're playing between different stamina marks. So you can see here, Hydrolon was able to make it all the way to shore. Yeah, Jet Dragon failed before we even made it right over to here. So I went through and did extensive testing on these, and if we're looking at pure fastest, Xenolord isn't the fastest, but the stamina more than makes up for it. Also does have a really nice party skill, while in the party damage done by partner skills of weapon wielding pals increases by 50%. This will boost up Jet Dragon. So you kind of want to have all of these in your party, oddly enough. So in third place, we have Xenolord here. So while he's not the true fastest, the stamina more than makes up for it. And the cool thing about this is you can use whatever weapons you want to use on the back of Xenolord. So yeah, if you want to go archery, you can do it all. So he's got the most versatility here. Same thing with Hydrolon as well. So you do have a lot of options when going against new boss like Patholus and others. So yeah, he can fly around the furthest, and that's what makes him our third place. While not having the same speed of the others, you do have that nice bonus of being able to just go a lot further. And for second place, this is tough. It's very interchangeable because, again, depending on what buffs you have on each of these dragons, it's going to be different. Hydrolon and Hydrolon Ignis are the same for all intents and purposes, but they have more stamina than Jet Dragon does. They do lose out on a little bit of speed, and they do require you to build your entire team around them. But let's just face it, we're probably all going around with a bunch of dragons anyway. That's typically how I like to do my parties in these types of games as well. But even their base movement speed is really fast too. They obviously have that big benefit of whenever you have multiple in the party, you get more of their movement speed, so that is really nice. Now to unlock Xenolord, you actually have to go and create a summoning altar here. So you can actually do this as early as level 33 and get yourself one, which makes it a great pal. You do have to hatch its egg. Whereas if you want Hydrolon or Hydrolon Ignis, Hydrolon's now available in this location here, which is funny enough right near Jet Dragon. So you can come on over to this spot. It'll be level 69. And then when we look at the world tree, the fire version of Hydrolon is in this section here around this rib cage. You're going through the caves, you're going to see a bunch of them there, and that's in the world tree. But the number one true fastest is still Jet Dragon. Again, it does have the downsides of having lower stamina than Hydrolon, so you do run out of stamina much quicker here. So you may want to get one with like the power efficiency one that's going to give it 75% more stamina, which is nice because that'll at least boost it up and make it a lot faster because you're not going to run out of stamina as much. But if it was me, I would honestly just focus. I like Hydrolon a lot, especially if you have a full dragon team. I think that they're more than enough. They're my true favorite. I would put them in number one. But if you want to look at the actual stats, the fastest is Jet dragon, but they run out of their stamina really quickly, so these are a little bit of a better option. And Xenolord, it was just fantastic as well. But let me know your thoughts in the comments on the fastest mounts in Palworld, and if you want to see some more, hit the subscribe button below and let me know what type of content you guys would like to see next.